immigrants fail because they are not willing to be bold to ask what they deserve. You need to be bold. You have to develop this boldness. It will come, it won't happen in a night, it will come over time. Hi folks, my name is Jagdare and I'm coming at you from Detroit, Michigan, and today I'm going to talk to you about why some H1B immigrants don't succeed in America. But before we get started, I would really appreciate if you can give me a thumbs up to the video. It allows me to reach out to more people just like you. So let's jump into the topic. So number one thing, folks, understand one thing. So when I'm talking about H1B aspirants or people who are working on H1B, people who are working on F1 visa, OPT, now there are always some people who will be exceptions to the rule. There are, now you may say like, hey, but like immigrants are so successful, like the Google CEO is a Indian immigrant, the Microsoft CEO is an immigrant, and I understand that, folks, and kudos to them, and that's really good that there are some immigrants who are able to represent international people at such corporation, and that's great news. But you have to understand what you and I, as maybe average individuals who may not get there or who don't have those kind of opportunities, can do on a regular basis to succeed in our jobs, can do on a regular basis to get ahead in our careers. And what stops us from doing that? Why do people fail sometimes? And that's the things I want to cover with you. So let's jump into that. So understand one thing, folks. I'm talking about average people who are graduated with mechanical, civil, automotive engineering degrees, who are electrical engineers. These are the normal degrees people have graduated with. Not all of these people will get up to high levels like that. Most of these people will be stuck in a rat race for next 40 years. By the time they graduate, by the time they actually retire, they may have a nice home, couple of kids, house in the suburbs, maybe a couple of cars, maybe even a Tesla. But will these people ever really achieve everything they want in life? Or will they just like try to get under the radar? So that is what happens with most of the people I know, I've met here, and that's what's happening with the people I have known. So why does this happen? Why is these people not able to succeed? So the number one reason, what I have been able to figure out from my own perspective through my own experiences of working in US for about last 4 to 5 years, is the number one thing that stops us is fear. Now fear is very, very interesting. Now sometimes this fear can be real and sometimes this can be made up. Like they say, fear is false evidence appearing real. Similarly, what happens is these people who are kind of working in corporate world, for example, let's say you're an F1 visa student. You just got a job, okay? So it starts right from the time you start an interview. You go into an interview, you're afraid to ask sponsorship. You are like, I just need a job right now, I don't care about sponsorship. This is where it will start, because you think like, if I ask for sponsorship, they may not give me a job. This is where it starts. Now what you're doing, you're setting these bad habits from the beginning, and that's why you will have trouble in future. I'll tell you how it happens. Now let's say you start work, you didn't ask for sponsorship, or maybe you just mentioned it. You said, I may need it in the future, but I don't need it right now to start working. Here's what happens. Now let's say you started working, you brought up that topic a year later. You want an H1B visa. Now you have to do a lot of song and dance about H1B visa. You have to prove that, hey, you are like good enough candidate so that they can sponsor your H1B. Now let's say they do your H1B, okay, in April. Now you want a 1 month, let's say you get accepted. Now you want a 1 month break in October to go back to India, or like November, December timeframe to go to India and come back. So what will happen? You'll take this month off, you'll talk to your boss, you'll say you get a 3 weeks, 4 weeks off. Now suddenly you're like, oh, I just came back from my country, now I need to perform really harder. And yeah, that's great news. But then let's say you get your salary and you get only a 3% or 4% raise, even though you performed really well, you worked hard, you were expecting maybe 6 to 8%, but you just got 2.5%. This is where immigrants make mistakes. They will never go to their boss and ask them, hey, why did I not get a 6%? Why did I not get an 8%? What can I do to get those raises? You will never ask this question. I never asked these questions before, and I just took whatever they gave me. I was like, oh, thank you so much, I really appreciate. Because I remember I was making $54,000 in 2017 at a company in Ann Arbor. They gave me a $1,500 raise, which is like 3% at that time, 2.5-3% raise. And I was so happy. I was like, oh wow, thank you so much, I really appreciate money. I was like, oh my god, $1,500, $100 extra per month, which is like $50 per paycheck. That's a lot of money. Squat, folks, that's not a lot of money. Understand one thing, folks. This is where immigrants fail, because they are not willing to be bold to ask what they deserve. You need to be bold. You have to develop this boldness. It will come. It won't happen in a night. It will come over time. But understand one thing, folks. Just the way you need the company also needs you. You have to understand that as much as you need the company to do your H1B, green card and stuff like that, they also need you that much. Recently, I went through a project management training in my company, and I found out that in order for them to hire one new employee, it costs them $35,000. So if you are an employee at a company and they had to replace you, it will cost them $35,000 just to replace. And the bigger the company it is, the more money it costs them. For example, let's say if you got a 4% raise, which is $2,000, and you go to your boss and say, I need 8%, which is $5,000, your boss is gonna be like, well, so first of all, they're not going to, a lot of people have misconceptions like, oh, if I ask a raise, will they let me go? Will they fire me? No, people don't just fire you because you asked a raise. Now, if your performance was really bad and still you're asking for a raise, they're gonna be like, man, why are you asking a raise? Like, is this an entitled mentality? But if you really believe that you performed exceptionally well last year, you did really hard work, then that's fine for you to ask a 5% raise. If economy is doing great, it's fine for you to ask that 5% raise, folks. That's totally fine, because the reason is you are making money for the company. You are an asset to the company. So just because I know a lot of my friends, even me, I remember one year I was going to do my H1B and I was like, well, should I ask for a raise this year or not? Because my company is filing for my H1B. Understand one thing, folks, your H1B, your green card application is independent of your work and how much you put into your work. It is not dependent on, oh, I'll give you $80,000, I'll give you $60,000 salary, but I'll do your green card. No, that's not how it works, folks. Green card, immigration, yes, these are a little bit extra cost than hiring a local person, but understand there is a reason they are not hiring local person, because they can't find it. You will not get a job if there is a local person who is able to do this job. So understand there is a reason they are hiring you, and they have to justify that reason to the government of the USA. And you know what? They have to pay that extra money so that they can hire you. So your income has nothing to do with your H1B or your green card. You should be able to ask what you deserve, in my opinion. So here's what I say. So that fear, that fear will keep you behind, folks. That fear will be like, it will take hold of you and you will never be able to succeed in your job. And that's what happened to me. I wasted 2, 3, 4 years just being afraid to ask what I deserved. And when I started to understand that, hey, you know what? If I'm putting in the work, then I'm going to ask for things I need. I became bold. I started communicating with my HR. I started talking to my managers. I started communicating with them that, hey, this is what I need this year. This is what I need. I need tuition fees for my school. I need green card application done this year because I don't want to be worried. I don't want that stress when I'm working. I want my performance to be really, really good. Because sometimes what happens, folks, let's say if your company is not able to do your green card properly or your H1B properly, you will start resenting your own company. And you don't want to go through those kind of things. You'll be like, you start daydreaming about other companies who may be able to do a green card faster, who may be able to do that. And that is detrimental to you and your company, because you will not be able to give your best. If it's a good company, you love it, you got in there because you saw potential, they really treated you well, and you still love the environment, then I feel you need to start talking to them that, hey, you know what? I need this to be done. recently I had an experience in my company. I had to reach out to one of my HR managers and I had to talk to them that, hey, this is what's happening. I'm not able to communicate with people. People are not reaching back to me. I really need your help. Can you help me? And guess what? My HR took in charge. They said, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it. And that's what it is all about, folks. It's about you stepping up and having those conversations with people who will help you to get ahead. But it starts with becoming bold. It starts with having the courage to speak up. All right, so number two, why the H1B people don't succeed, in my opinion, number two is flying under the radar, like getting by attitude. What I mean by that is, what these people will do is, like, they will go to work thinking Monday is a drag for them. Friday, they look for Friday. They live for the weekends. They can't wait for Friday afternoon because they know they're gonna get done. Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, they're gonna travel, they're gonna go here and there, and that's what they live for, folks. They don't live for Monday to Friday. Understand, if you came to America all the way from your country, you left everything behind, your parents, your family, all those things, for you to live for the weekend, then guess what, folks? In my opinion, there's something really wrong with that. Because you should be looking forward to Monday. Monday should be your favorite day of the week. Because isn't that why you came to America, to the land of dream? Isn't that what you think? This is the land of the dream, land of the opportunity to make that income. So why are we so negative, or why are we so harsh towards like going back to work? Why is work such a pain? Now, I understand it is dreadful, like, after a couple of days of like relaxation, it's hard to get back into the groove, but you shouldn't be hating it. You shouldn't be like, oh my god, I can't wait for this week to be done. Because it's fine. Sometimes you will have that, you will have a lot of stress, you have a lot of work, but if you're always looking forward to the weekend, then something is wrong. You need to change that, folks. And that's one of the reasons I see a lot of my friends who are graduating newly, who are in the industry for 2-3 years, they don't enjoy their work. They don't really enjoy what they're doing. And that's what keeps them behind. They will look for ways to get out of work earlier. They'll try to skip work. They'll, if people are getting out at 4, they'll try to skip at 3:30. They think nobody's looking, but guess what, folks? You yourself are watching, and there's always someone watching you. Don't worry about it. Trust me, there's always someone watching you. If no one else is watching, you're watching yourself, and guess what? It's gonna hurt your self-image. So this attitude of getting by will not take you ahead in life. I've done it. I'm not saying I'm a perfect human being. I've been where you are. I've done it. I've taken shortcuts. I remember in my internship, I used to leave early. I was like, oh, I don't have enough work. What's the point in staying here? But understand one thing, folks. This is where you need to change your attitude, especially in your beginning stages of your work. First 3, 4, 5 years, this is where you have to put in the maximum amount of work ethic and effort, because the habits you build now will stay with you eventually for next 20, 30, 40 years. I have friends who are 15, 20 years in the industry, and they have this BS attitude. They try to get out early, they'll try to work from home. They wanna do the minimum and expect the maximum results. The only place you'll get success before work is in dictionary, folks. So you have to understand, you have to put in the work. You have to be honest. You have to go the extra mile. This is where I kind of take advantage of what has been given to me. Is I will always be that person. If my company wants me to work on some project, if they need me to work on something, and I know it's very important for them that I work on it, I will always say yes. I will never say no. I will always say yes. I'll always go the extra mile, because when you go the extra mile, the company will give you extra, folks. There is a saying that a person who does more than what he's being paid today will eventually make much more money than what he does for work. So the amount of value you're giving in today, maybe it's more than what you're making, but eventually it will add up, and the money you'll be making will be immensely more than the value you're adding. It will happen to you, folks. It happens to me multiple times through this platform or through my work, through other platforms, and I am really grateful that I kinda understood this principle, and these are really great people in my life who taught me this principle. And that brings me to the part 3, that why some people don't succeed in America. The reason is because they don't have proper mentorship. They don't have proper friendships in their life. They don't have proper friends who are setting a right example for them. Most of their friends are just like that. They're looking for Friday afternoon. They're like, I can't wait to get out of here so that we can go party, we can go to the club, we can do this. Nothing wrong with that. You deserve to have fun, but after a hard working week, that's when you deserve. You have to earn the right to have fun, folks. Now you may think I may come here like a dad or something like that. I don't want to come across like that. But sometimes you just need to understand. We just need to reflect about why are we here? Why did we leave the best life we had, the pleasures, the family, all these things to come here and build something? Because understand, immigrants have always built on other countries. Immigrants are the people who will come to that country and build something new. So you have been given this opportunity. Why not make the best out of it? So here's what needs to change. You need to find out people in your life who are doing the things you want to do. You need to find people in life who are where you want to be, or you need to find in life people who are doing more than what you're doing, who are paying that price, who are hardworking, who don't take shortcuts. And these people will make you grow. They will make you uncomfortable, because you will look at them and you will like, oh my god, I have that potential, why I'm not performing like that? And they will help you grow. And that's what gets ahead, folks. Just like an iron sharpens an iron, people will sharpen people. So make sure you associate yourself with people who are better than you, who are going ahead, or people who are in life where you want to be, who are more productive, who get every ounce of that productivity back from their day. So saying that, this is what pretty much what I had. These are some of the things I have identified, that what I used to do as an immigrant, mistakes I used to do as an immigrant, and some of my friends who did mistakes. And I hope you don't have to go through that. And if you're watching this, you're in US already, I hope maybe you can learn something from my mistakes and get ahead, because I really want my friends, my peers, my fellow immigrants, and as a matter of fact the community itself, to grow and get ahead, because these are the things we need to start becoming aware of to get ahead. But I think that's pretty much what I had for you today. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.